Hello everyone! I just finished the sketchbook, so you all know what that means. It's sketchbook tour time! Let's look at that sketchbook, shall we? So, here we have the sketchbook. I've been using it since January this year and just finished it the other day. I usually decorate my sketchbooks with some sort of stickers so I can distinguish them from each other, and in this case I have those pony stickers that I got at a party and I don't even know their names. I'm not a pony person. I don't know anything about them. Anyway, let's get in. Actually, this sketchbook I used to make my how to start a new sketchbook video. So there I'm sharing with you some ideas about the first page of a sketchbook, and you can watch that video. I'll link it in the cards if you haven't. But that's the first page I ended up with. I thought that was funny. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Actually, I feel like there should be something here as well. This is the next less official first page, I guess. I actually started on 1st of January. That's interesting, I think. And I was in a pretty bad mood. I wasn't excited about the new year at all, as people tend to be or tend to pretend to be. I felt like it's gonna be a hard year and there was a lot that I didn't look forward to, and you could say I was right about that. I like illustrating recipes, so here I illustrated one of my favorite recipes for my pancakes. We always have pancakes on Saturday morning. It's a tradition, so I always experiment and try to put all kinds of new interesting things into the pancake to make them not boring. So in this case, I'm using apple and lemon zest and ginger, cinnamon to make them taste more spicy and wintry. And it's a really good recipe. And yeah, I should probably say that this sketchbook is very much full of guilty pleasures. So stuff that isn't very experimental, isn't teaching me anything, isn't super useful, but I just enjoy doing it when I wanna turn off my brain and relax with drawing. So this is where it starts pretty early on. And what I mean is that I really like redrawing old paintings or old photos, and yeah, just redrawing stuff because it's kind of, I don't know, for me it's easy and fun and I don't have to think too much, and it's what I like to do when I'm tired. But I tend to overindulge in it, and I should be more creative and more adventurous with my drawing, and that's what I intend to do with my next sketchbook. So keep me accountable. And next page, same thing, I redrew some painting. This was a person from Instagram, I think, Instagram model. It didn't turn out well at all, but I wanted to practice this bit more tricky angle of the face. Yeah, it didn't work out. Oh, I never actually finished this page. I don't know if you can see anything, it's very lightly sketched, but it's another recipe that I actually promised to someone and I don't think I ever sent it, which is shame. I'll probably go back and finish this because illustrating recipes is fun and it's a little bit more creative than redrawing portraits, so I should go back and finish this. These are some crop pages. Here is I was trying to make drawing flower tutorial, but it's pretty horrible. I don't like how it turned out at all. I think I even scrapped that video. I don't think it's online anymore. I'm trying to come up with a bit more simplified and stylized style for myself, for a bit more drawing sometimes, so I'm trying to sort of push myself that way with this. This is more of exploring that simplified style. This is a character from a game that my boyfriend was playing at that moment. Yeah, trying how this simplified style will work with a bit more of a tricky head angle, I guess. A little silly comic that I remade because it wasn't flowing very well here. This is more redrawing models from either Instagram or Pinterest. Of all of this, I only think I like two. I wasn't drawing that much here, and it shows in comparison to last year, for example. This is something new I'm trying and I'm kind of excited to do more of because it's fun, I guess. Sort of trying to tell a bit of a story or share something in combination with illustration and some text, sort of comic-y but not exact, and sort of like a visual diary or journal or something. It takes a bit more effort and it actually helps me learn things. So I think that's a direction I will be exploring more in my next sketchbook. This is a test print for my zine that I made recently. I think it's my last video. Can go and watch that if you want. And this happened during Mermaid. I didn't participate in that, but I was telling my boyfriend about it and told me to draw him as a mermaid. So that's what this is. And some notes. More of this sort of visual diary thing. I thought I'd keep track of my favorites and illustrate them. I only did for like a couple of months and then forgot all about it. But yeah, I like the style of this. It was also fun to make. And this was a nice day outside at the beach. This was during a drawing meetup that I organized, but I was so distracted trying to talk to the people that I wasn't paying much attention to what I was like drawing, and there is very messed up in here. Another sort of journaly page about a very nice weekend I had. It's where I actually got those ponies on the cover. Another little diary thing about the hardships of wearing white jeans when you bike. Let me know if you can relate. This is more copying. I think these were all people from Pinterest. I was just testing my sort of simplified style. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I ended up making her digital. It's somewhere on my Instagram, which is, by the way, at forindet, if you'd like to join me over there. I also really liked her and her, most of them actually. I think it was a nice page. Same thing, but with older ladies. I usually draw young women, girls, and I thought I'd give some love to the elderly ladies and see how can I make them look cute and beautiful. And you know, I feel like once a woman has reached a certain age, she becomes kind of invisible. Nobody cares anymore because she's not young and pretty, but well, she can be old and pretty. So yeah, I don't know. Again, all the pictures that I referenced are somewhere on Pinterest. I also made her digitally because she was one of my favorites. And actually, I would recommend you to draw old people because their faces are so much fun. There's so much more story and history and ways to differentiate them from one another. Like, I think you can clearly see that there is no same face syndrome in here, which it can be a little bit of it. Here, like, the eyes, if you look, are all pretty much all the same. Like if we remove the hair, there won't be that much difference. And when you draw young people, that's kind of bound to happen, especially if you don't draw super realistically, because there's just not that much that's happening in the face. Like there's eyes, there's nose, there's mouth. How different can it be? But with old people, you have all the wrinkles and the different shaped noses, and face even seems to have so much more shape. And these are not that simplified. So of course there is that. What I'm trying to say is just try to draw more different people than you normally would. This was a trip to the botanical garden. I actually feel like these pages are pretty empty. I usually like to fill all the holes and spots, but I remember that for this trip I had about an hour because I had to meet a friend afterwards, so I was kind of rushing through it, and I was filming a video at the same time of me at the botanical garden. You can find on my channel if you want to see that. But yeah, I usually like to write down the Latin names of the flowers, but in this case I didn't, except for this one. More flowers, because I love my flowers, and poppies are one of my favorite flowers, so of course I have to give it some love. This ended up being digital, and it's also, I think, on products in my Redbubble store, link in the description. So around this time I started kind of going back to colored pencils, which I haven't since my teenage years, more or less, and I have some packs of colored pencils which I received as like birthday gift, but they are not professional colored pencils, they're just the regular packs that you give children. So colors are not that exciting and they are not that much fun to work with, but I thought I explored a bit. And this is another faves page. It's also, I believe, a video that you can find on my channel if I didn't decide to remove it. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of how this turned out. And I don't know, I don't like pre-packaged pencils or markers or whatever, because you always get the most generic basic colors, and I don't know, I prefer to get my paints or pencils or whatever one by one and to choose each and every color myself and to make sure that it perfectly fits all the other colors I'm selecting. I don't know, I'm kind of color nerdy, I guess. Some environmental landscape studies from pictures from my own collection of pictures from my own travels in the mountains, of course, because I'm a mountain person. And yeah, I don't think I draw enough environments, so this is what's happening here. This was for a cover for one of my meetup events that I'm organizing, and normally I would do that in a different sketchbook, but at the time I didn't have it with me, so these were thumbnails for an illustration I wanted to make for midsummer, but I ended up not making it on time, so I never really finished it. Maybe next year. More of that and more environmental stuff. Actually, I think around that time I made a tutorial series that you can also find on my channel about making simple vector landscape illustrations in Adobe Illustrator, and this is some of the ideas and sketches for that video. How to grow trees and how to arrange them into simple landscapes. I drew one of our chilies. We planted a bunch of chilies at the time, but we got almost no harvest from them because they were attacked by some pests. It was very unusually warm this summer for so up north, and there was a lot of pests on the trees, and some of them managed to get onto our chilies and ate all the leaves, so they died. So that was one of the few fruits we got, and it was not fully developed, but we still ate it. It was spicy. Some horrible people, I think maybe they were from real life, I don't know, but they're horrible. Let's not look at them. Oh yeah, now are the worst pages of the sketchbook. I wanted to go outside and draw people in the wild of the city, but at the same time I really didn't want to do it. I really wasn't feeling up to it, but kind of forcing myself to do it. So the results aren't great. Like, I think you can tell that I'm really not into this. And also sketching people on the street is it's not very easy, especially when you're not very experienced in that, because people move constantly and you basically have seconds to capture anything, and yeah, you end up with a lot of just few basic outlines and yeah, just nothing. I also tried a few buildings. I'm not that experienced drawing buildings, and I'm bad with straight lines. I'm more of a organic flow sort of person. Yeah, I need to work on that, and yeah, you can just see warm-up badness. Well, it's not just the warm-up, sorry, that was the whole day. More of that. Thought I'd draw some buildings because they don't move. Yeah, that didn't go that great either. Another copy of my zine and more people. This is a pattern I cut out from a tea box because I kind of enjoy the pattern and the colors. These were some characters from Draw This in Your Style challenge from someone I follow on Instagram, but I don't think I made them that different from the original, and I don't know, I kind of lost interest in the challenge in the meantime, so this went nowhere. And some owls are also fun. Oh, this was the sketch for the illustration for the tutorial about making vector landscapes in Illustrator that you can check out on my channel. Some thumbnail studies of landscapes. I used my own photos, and yeah, these were a lot of fun. More of the same. This was towards the end of summer, where people on Instagram were already starting to post autumny pictures, and I was like, what? No, it's still summer, let's enjoy summer. Because I'm a summer person. And yeah, I made this little silly collection of all the things I like about summer. Well, there's so much more, but oh, I left this page empty because I thought I'm going to use markers for this, and I didn't want them to bleed on something potentially nice. but then I ended up leaving it as a sketch. So I should probably go back and draw something on this page. Here I bought my gray markers, and basically right after I bought them I went outside and tested them on some nearby objects, and yeah, I enjoy them a lot. But this paper is not great for markers, like you can see here if you look closely that they kind of bleed in a nasty way. Oh yeah, silly little comics about introverts that you see on my Instagram. More environmental studies from my latest vacation. It was very nice, and it was very nice to experience it over again and drawing from my photos. Girls from Pinterest or Instagram or who knows. I should be writing down when I'm not using my own reference, but not a habit I have. And here is where I bought my proper pencils not too long ago. I think you can see that in a vlog or something. And of course I had to draw with them. It started with this 5, and I think this is the first quick sketch I made with them. I made some autumn fruits because they were matching the covers I got really nicely, and this is probably my favorite page in this sketchbook. I really like how these turned out. Well, this is a very early Christmas. I have no idea what was going on. Why would I do this? It was just September. That's not how I do things. I had point with that, but I don't remember what it was. Maybe I wanted to do some stickers or something early on, but then I dropped the idea for some reason. And back to autumn and some mushrooms, because I like mushrooms. Some little doodles of little autumny things. I really like the very simple, very doodly, sketchy illustrations like these ones, but I feel like there are some people who are just really good at that sort of stuff, really simplifying things. And I feel like when I do it, it's not genuine somehow, because that's not how I immediately want to make things. I think that I am a bit more influenced by realism, even though I don't like realistic things. The more realistic, the more I don't like it. But yeah, I guess I need to be a little closer to realism, because I like the idea behind it, but I don't feel like I pulled it off very well. Yeah, this page doesn't feel genuine somehow. This is much more me, like, they're still simplified, but they have a bit more, I don't know, realism to them. And yeah, that was pretty cozy draw. I went back and got some more pencils, so here I'm expanding my still tiny collection. Looking at this, I just want to go and get more, and I know I will, but calm down. And some colored pencil studies from, I guess, Pinterest again. Oh, this was so much fun to draw. This one is my favorite, by the way. Some more of this. I also really like this one. The rest are fine. This is my least favorite. Oh yeah, I have video on making this one, but it didn't turn out very well, so I made a second one on a marker paper, because I I ended up doing a layer of markers first to give it more intense deep color. So yeah, it was a nice experiment, and I kind of want to redraw it again, but I haven't yet. This was inspired by me working part-time at a cafe for a while and learning how to actually do it, and yeah, it was fun. I actually hope I get to do some more of that, because I really enjoyed going and doing something completely different than drawing and creative stuff and talking to clients and all that, like something that has absolutely nothing to do. It was like taking a vacation but still working. Oh yeah, here I was with a friend at a cafe, and there were these old photos on the walls that I started redrawing, and that was fun. And when I came back, I looked for more old photos on Pinterest and did that, and you can tell that I was much more relaxed and comfortable on this page, because they turned out so much better. She is my favorite, by the way, and I thought that this pencil doesn't smudge, but it kind of does transfer a little bit here and there. Actually, it wasn't so bad. I actually like where the red transferred on her, because it kind of looks like light, and it's interesting effect which I totally didn't plan or wanted to have, but it's fine. More of those old-time photograph redrawing stuff. This was sort of a style exercise where I started with my most natural style, so to say, what just comes to me when I'm not trying to think or do anything. Like, yeah, this is just me, what I would do. And this is me trying to simplify this one. So yeah, I did that, all of them. And I think there is a space for both styles, depending on what you're trying to achieve. Sometimes something more detailed, and sometimes this is good enough. So I don't know. I like the last row. The mid one is a bit more meh. I feel like it's lacking something. And some cats. This one is my favorite. With this I was drawing outside, but at some point I lost interest, so I just left it there and finished the page with some hands, because I like drawing hands. Hands are fun. And also this is kind of an exercise, it's not totally pointless. This is my Ghost Girls page, which is pretty much again drawing from old photos. Actually, she's not from a photo, she's from my once. I was a bit more creative. And yeah, I decided that they're ghosts, so that's why their eyes look like they do. I kind of want to fill this space, but also I feel like I like it empty, so I don't know what I should. I wanted to make some kind of environment and put her in it digitally. So this is what this is trying to be, but I don't know. I feel like I should have done it in a different sketchbook. I feel like ruining the nice flow somehow. And this is still on the ghost wave. This little story thing popped into my head where a girl is going about her business and eventually she realizes that she's actually a ghost. I have this little comic thing in my head that I also sketched in another sketchbook, which I may or may not make. We'll see. I kind of feel like it's all about Christmas now and all these ghost stories. Nobody will care anymore, so maybe I'll just make it for myself. Maybe I'll put it on Instagram. I don't know. And hands, because you can never have too much hands. And more hands. And more of Pinterest, old photos, redrawing. There's some original ones or not. I'm not sure. But yeah, here I was trying to focus on the more simplified and also add some man. So I'm also pretty crazy about history fashion and love drawing historical outfits. So that's what these are about. Totally pointless otherwise. This is a picture I redrew because I just really liked it so much. I love the shapes and the proportions of this so much. So I just had to do it. And a bunch of dudes from old times. Oh, and that's the end of it, I guess. Maybe I should draw something out here as well. Maybe. That's the end of the sketchbook. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you've started or finished the sketchbook recently. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of me. And I hope to see you next time. Until then, have fun!